so I guess we'll see what we're going to be loading into. Does seem like it's going to be Nuke. This is worrying stuff for me if you're talking about Order. You know, we were talking about ECA Premier, where they dropped this map to Warriors, they dropped this map to Rooster or Paradox, whatever you want to call them as well. They've lost it most recently in DreamHack Open, as well as IEM Fall to both Renegades and looking for Org most recently. So ex-Direwolves, even starting out on that T side, I think their Nuke stats definitely looking a whole lot better than what we've been seeing from Order.
Yeah, indeed, and ex-Direwolves should be quite comfortable. T-side, you know, it's not as bad as it used to be. APOC will find himself the first kill in the round. Vexite trying to get aggressive out through Hut. Will lose his head, and ex-Direwolves have done a significant amount of damage onto Ricky as well. So this is where they're going to really just look to charge their way in. Wolf packing it down the vents. I thought they were going to go into the A bomb site, but inevitably they decide to drop into B. That is where Gyra is rotating toward, but Hazard falls off the line at the most inopportune time. Gyra holding on to the shots, won't actually take the freebie, and now has to take the fight to Savage. It's a bit of a mess right now. Players just running all over the place, taking deathmatch duels, and it goes the way of ex-Direwolves. Close range fights with the Glocks in hand. You have to expect that they're going to walk away with the win, and they are doing just that. Bomb is down, Stillo spotted out. Round is more or less over. Ex-Direwolves will get the pistol to start off Nuke.
Nicely done. What will be the response for Order? Will we see one of these second round forces? Does seem like Scout being dropped over, Deagle in return, Ricky going to hold on to some extra cash in the back pocket, and it will be one of these second round buys in from Order, so not wanting to let this game get away from them if possible. Nova out for Gyra, that is an interesting one for sure.
Can work. On a map like this, we'll see where he goes. Maybe on top of Hut. Where's Gyra? He's actually headed over towards Ramp Room, so he'll just be playing close by the exit of Radio, I suppose, and playing a little bit of a crossfire with Valiants, but it's not going to make too much of a difference in this round because ex-Direwolves are a bit more interested in what is happening on A. He's still low. It's a nice one with a Deagle, but Licky gets Vexite as he falls off of the rafters. Ustillo dropped as well. Bomb plant's going down.
Yep, seeing the retake coming towards lobby from Radio, and again, Hazard, that's the second time in 2 rounds. Man has just not really had the timing going his way. Good thing for him, though, is his Ferrari peeked in there, found balance in lobby. APOC has found one of the players in warehouse, so only Gyra is unknown. Puts the Nova to good use, but unfortunately, it's quite fine to Dink, and that is why no one really uses the Nova, even in ideal circumstances. Point blank range, still doesn't give it a kill.
Savage will chase Ricky down as well. Had a couple of chances with the scout there, but only able to land one of them. So 2-0 the scoreline. Order will have to go back to the save. Ricky keeping a bit of money in his back pocket. Will be looking for the AWP in the first gun round for Order. But he does have to wait one more round before he's going to be able to pick that up. ex-Direwolves off to a very good start here on Nuke.
No doubt, into the anti-eco. Sterling's going to wield that MAC-10. He's looking to make some cash. It's been interesting to watch Sterling when he's not on the AWP on the T side. I've actually seen a fair bit of entry work from this man. And again, he's straight in there. I mean, not around like this, it's not too ludicrous. He's looking to make some cash. But even with the rifle, I've seen him go on the entry from time to time.
As up. Does get the better of Gyra, who was trying to cross back into the site proper. ex-Direwolves just slow things down a little bit. They do have APOC on the lurk through Secret. He's sort of exploring down toward the B bomb side, and that might be an avenue of attack for ex-Direwolves in 15 or 20 seconds time once he gets some control there. Or they might just back themselves to walk into A. They've chucked a fair bit of utility in that direction. Have not decided to explode off the back of it, and now it's onto Ricky here in Trophy Room. Nice headshot to start onto Licky, but inevitably the numbers are a bit too much for just a P250 to deal with.
Meanwhile, APOC's been adventuring down into lower, and he's going to invite the boys into his new abode. Molotov down towards stairs, smoke onto Decon. High percentage utility for ex-Direwolves to secure that lower site. Order at this point, the name of the game is exits. Valiants and Vexite going to walk in hand, see if they can find any Ts that they can be trading down for an additional little bit of damage. But all things considered, ex-Direwolves, as you did mention already, a great start to the T side of Nuke, and you know, even if I didn't see such a great start, I'd be feeling confident about them. They've got a much more solid win rate on this map than Order do from a pretty similar sample size. I think Order are actually a 33% win rate, which might be some of the lowest on any map we've seen from them. Whereas ex-Direwolves sitting up at around 80. Their win rate across all maps at the moment is pretty insane, considering they're not losing to almost anyone but Renegades.
Well, I suppose that's what you come to expect when you are the second best team in the ANZ region. And actually, it's funny you mention that because the only losses on Nuke for LFO actually come against Renegades in the last 3 months. And they've even won one time against Renegades on this map as well. So, bit of a back and forth between them. They do have that win against Order 16-8 in the DreamHack tournament on this map. So, it's not a pretty picture for Order on Nuke.
Definitely not. Especially when they've been losing to a couple of those second-rate teams in Australia. Even the Warriors as well. That's the real head-scratcher. Like, that team was dead, I think, when they won
That wasn't
game.
a team. Yeah, it wasn't a team.
They lost to a not team.
They were just still playing the tournament because they qualified for it. They were winning, and they kept saying, "Well, we're probably not going to be a team after we get knocked out." But they never got knocked out. Anyway, APOC has a little knock on his head, and that's from Gyra. So finally, we see an advantage actually come through for the CT side.
Meanwhile, though,
yeah, that nice creep down to B.
The expedition into B, exactly that. Savage as well, shoulder peeking. Making sure that Order's not getting too much information, not getting into towards the lobby, and 100% informing some of these rotates. Hello.
Valiant gets the incendiary down, which is going to make it difficult for them to push out of control room. Savage still trying to lock down lobby, but ex-Direwolves are working their way in toward B site properly. Valiant is trying to defend. Has managed to get across, though, and should be able to get a safe bomb plant here. No one else can deny the bomb plant apart from Valiant, and he's obviously not in a position really to do so. In the end, Savage gets his man. He's really just buying a lot of time on the upper side of the map. He gets another kill. Yeah. Savage single-handedly winning this round for ex-Direwolves. Yeah, they've gotten the bomb down on B, but Savage is the one that is causing all of that ruckus. And it's taken so long for Order to get down to B that there is no chance of a retake. They are starting to work their way in, but time has run out. They don't have a smoke. They can't sit this bomb. There's no way that ex-Direwolves lets this round fall by the wayside. Licky kills Valiance, and inevitably time runs out. The kills come through for Order, but they had no time for defuse, and ex-Direwolves go up to 4.
I mean, that is the great thing about running those kind of 1-4 setups, leaving that lurker towards lobby side, because he can get free kills on the CTs who want to try to take that lobby control and inform their rotates better inform their decision making, but also he can cut off some of those rotators who, even if they don't push lobby, they try to make their way down vent. That's basically a whole arm of the push cut off, and then you're left with Megaton and Secret, which is a much more defendable site than being vulnerable to vents as well. We'll hold that fort though. Very, very up. Straight out squeaky door here for ex-Direwolves, and the entry's going well for them so far.
Backside still looks like a bit of a problem though, hiding behind the silos. He's being covered off by the player up in heaven as well, and Sterling eventually puts an end to his run, but he's done one better. Valiance goes and grabs himself the kill, and it's 1-on-3 now for APOC to work with. There's just too many. And Order respond back quite nicely to what was a bit of an unfortunate loss in the previous round. They at least bring the score to 1 to their name. Start to make some inroads on that CT side. Money's looking pretty decent for the CTs, especially considering where it's at right now for the T side. This will be an awkward decision to make for ex-Direwolves. That Molotov, man, just slowed ex-Direwolves down enough that the rotation was able to come through and Order set themselves and hit their shots on A. Very well done in the end. Good defense on A. Need to see more of that from Order.
Let's reset the money, at least for now. Ex-Direwolves could have tried to scrap something together, but they're going to go for a little bit more of a passive approach to the economy. Just Eagles across the board. Looking for some economic damage. APOC up on top of T. Red has just been given an absolute freebie. Gyra. Don't know where his eyes were, but not on the screen. Savage doesn't need to see anything with his. Just straight through the smoke. A smoke bag and a kill into Hut. How is this deco happening?
This is a bit of a risky cross though. Vexite is posted on the line. He could well find 1 or 2. Pops the flash over. Valiance was there as well, but somehow all the ex-Direwolves players actually get across and get into secret. They'll get down to B. Savage has found himself an AWP, but he's going to put that to good use as well. 3 kills from Savage, and it's no wonder we get so excited when we watch this guy play.
Perfect positioning, perfect crosshair placement. Couple taps with the Deeg, picks up the AWP. Easy to black. Valiant's now under the ladder, but it's good trading, good positioning. Hazard and Sterling been playing with each other for quite a while. I wonder how long that is. I'm kind of think, you know, that's a lot of chemistry
2
between
years?
those two.
2.5? Were they together on, was it Breakaway Esports? Was that the name?
No, they weren't playing on that roster together. It was Andy who was the AWPer on that, I think.
Yeah, that might be right. I remember Hazard were on that roster for sure.
It was Hazard and Gyro, funnily enough.
That's it.
On that team. I'm just going to look at the teams for now. But Order have been put on that eco. That's not what we were expecting, right?
No, certainly not. 5-1. Quick bounce back from ex-Direwolves. They're not going to leave anything to chance against Order today. To a great start on the T side here. APOC is clearing outer as best he can. So already a bit of map control starting to be established for ex-Direwolves. It seems like they do like to probe a little bit on inner and then try to make their way down secret. That's a tendency I've been seeing from them so far on this T side.
May 2019. So that's how long we're talking. Maybe even a little bit longer than that, perhaps. But around May 2019.
It's about 2.5 years then.
Yeah.
He's in a decent spot to get some work done. And if he gets a shot through like that, then maybe there are a few more tricks up the sleeve of Order. It has sent ex-Direwolves walking through the smoke, but Ricky's got the timing, found the M4. Smokes are starting to fade. Sterling watching, but Vexite's going to find the timing. He spotted the AWP. Does actually get the kill over there for Ricky, who puts another one through with the M4. Savage can't salvage it this time. And ex-Direwolves, after all their heroics in the previous round, are going to let one swing back the way of Order. And the half continues to be tumultuous.
I feel like we're back in 2020 now. Early 2020, end of 2019. In OCE, all you would see is like second round Deagle rounds being won non-stop. And now you see another like perfect example of that. Just absurd. Big economy swing in the favor of Order now. See what they're going to do with it. We were talking about not feeling too great about their chances on this map, but those are the kind of rounds where you get a big economy swing and, you know, things can get a little bit differently. Maybe that's where you get the boost that you need.
Quite able to find the timing there as the cross into secret ensues again for ex-Direwolves. They've been loving that part of the map. It seems to be really a go-to for them. Get some players down into lower, leave Savage up in lobby and see what he can do on the lurk. And he's generally been pretty solid at it. This round a bit more difficult for ex-Direwolves than the previous couple have been. You know, APOC and Hazard both tagged down. Vicky is going to clear out the stairs. Where a CT is hiding. He's actually on the bomb site itself. Valiant's just on the catwalk. It's going to be a B crunch though.
A lot of map control in a lot of different parts of the map. Savage again, just doing such a good job in lobby as that lurker. He goes 1 for 1, but he's granted a bit more space. Valiant's now all alone on this lower side. He's just getting wallbagged straight through decon by APOC.
It wasn't just that. There was shots coming in from every single angle. APOC somehow not able to get the kill there onto Ustillo. We're back to a 3-on-3. I thought that one was for sure going to APOC. But Hazard, very nice smoke to work with. Spots out the head of Ricky. Can't land the shot. A little bit uncharacteristic, but information is there. Sterling doubles down in decon. And that's the round over. Ex-Direwolves. It's a tougher round for them, but they get through it, and they probably do so with 3 guns alive, unless Sterling goes on the hunt here and drops to Ricky. But even still, you'll take that every day of the week if you're ex-Direwolves. What a fantastic round, though. You could see all of the layers coming together at the perfect time. The push into ramp, the players coming down secret, Savage getting work done from lobby, and inevitably when Valiant actually has to take that fight on the bomb site, He's getting shot from control room, from decon, and I think there was even a player starting to swing from Megaton as well. So there was just nowhere for him to go. There's not enough cover for him to play from. And with all those angles, obviously APOC in the end opens up the B bomb site after a couple of nice ones to start off for ex-Direwolves, courtesy of Savage. A very good round, 6-2, and it puts the money back to a bit of a precarious spot here for Order. They can buy into this round, Pilski, but it's going to put them down pretty low.
Yeah, no doubt. That's how you know ex-Direwolves is just a very proficient team on Nuke. You know, usually you see teams when they go down into that lowest part of the map, either it's a small commitment where you're doing like a 1-4 with a quick vent drop, or you send one player across secret and the rest of the team will meet up with him later, or it's going to be like, you know, more of a heavy push straight down that part of the map with one player lurking into lobby, you know, the more common kind of 1-4s where, you know, you might see a Savage in the back of the lobby. But ex-Direwolves, like, they're working that secret control. Half the team's meeting up with ramp. You've got someone controlling that lobby and punishing the vent rotate. They're kind of working in pairs and still coming out ahead in a lot of these critical parts of the map. And those are the kind of situations where it's not so simple to defend against, because you're getting pressured in a lot of different areas and you need to make sure you're informing your rotates correctly.
Ooh. Hazard's playing with fire, but he might have spotted Ricky out, and so he's not going to be peeking that line anymore. Different approach this time from ex-Direwolves, just grouping up as 5, something that they haven't been doing a huge amount so far. Leon starts well, and he does have that crossfire established with Ustillo. It's going to send ex-Direwolves packing, but in the meanwhile, Order are getting a little bit busy in this round. They've sent Ricky on outer. He's getting a lot of info. It's the creep into the A bomb site. That might still work out for ex-Direwolves, but they line up for Vex site. Got himself a double. Sterling trying to salvage anything he can, but really not too much on offer here. And so it'll be on to Licky to dive down into the B bomb site and try to get the bomb plant down, which it seems he'll be able to do. 1 on 3, but he's not really going to give himself too much time to find a decent post plant. Makes some noise going through the doors. Order should have heard that. See what Licky can do. 1 on 3. This would be a nail in the coffin for Order if he finished it off. Great shot. Gyra drops. A 1-on-1 against Ricky as well, but now the bomb being defused. Oh, Ustillo just gets off it in time to survive, but Licky is buying so much time. Flash comes through again. Now Ustillo's on the defuse. In the end, the round will go the way of the CT side, but Licky has done a huge amount of economic damage in that round to finish it off. It could have been Order with 3 alive, but in the end, only just the 1. He was so close to winning it as well. Imagine he hits that shot onto Ustillo just before he gets off the bomb.
Made it expensive. Nonetheless, tactical timeout now coming in here for ex-Direwolves. Gonna have a bit of a chat about this round because it is an important one. Whenever you bring it down to a 1-on-1 against the other team, you know that their money is quite scuffed. You have big reset potential. But not only that, I mean, you can see from the equipment value there, but also from the bottom right, the buy is not so straightforward here for ex-Direwolves. They need to have a think about who's going to be going into this round with maybe a pistol or without as much utility. And obviously, the new update adds a whole nother layer to that, where you can now switch around who's got what grenades and ensure that you're setting yourselves up with the right players in the right position with not only the right weaponry. If we talk about, you know, having a MAC-10 or a pistol on the entry, or maybe just having someone throw grenades and not needing a primary weapon, but also the right players in position with the right grenades so that your strategy flows nicer.
We've been seeing a few grenades being tossed around here in IEM Fall. That's a nice start for Ricky. Hazard just trying to take the challenge to him with an AK, and that's not going to work out. Bombs dropped in a really awkward spot for ex-Direwolves. They're going to try and retrieve it off the back of a couple of flashes, and they have been successful in doing so, but obviously now having lost a couple of players already, Licky's just going to have to try and man mode a couple of entries here, and he does grab one. APOC able to find the trade on another. Still not looking fantastic for ex-Direwolves, but you forget that Savage exists. And then he pulls off a kill like that. 11-6 so far on this map. APOC hightailing it down to B as well. We're in the 2-on-2. And ex-Direwolves have full control of the B bomb site, though they don't know it just yet. It's going to take a while for Order to get there. So the bomb plant will be very safe for ex-Direwolves if they just pick the pace up a little bit. And they have been able to do so. It's an open plant by the looks of things, which is going to be good news.
The fake comes out maybe initially. Bomb finally does go down, but Valiance has already got
APOC.
himself in the windows.
I want to see if APOC actually ends up creeping into ramp. It doesn't look like he's been able to do so. And Valiance has just spotted him. The head will get knocked off, and so it's on to Savage. 1-on-2. Lots of time for Order to work with, but still a lot of angles for them to clear. Decon, Megaton, Rafters even as well. And Valiance is given an opportunity. Savage didn't miss on the second shot, though, on the Vex side. And that is a 2-on-1 clutch. Another one. Another nail in the coffin for Order as ex-Direwolves pick up their 7th on the T side of Nuke.
Broke that CT money. That's what I was talking about. You take those tactical timeouts, that key critical junctures in the half where you really want to set yourself up with the best possible chance of closing the round out. And that round did not go well at all for ex-Direwolves. They ran through outers. They got absolutely destroyed by Ricky with the AWP. But that's where the individual brilliance comes into the equation. We were talking about it in Overpass and in some of the pre-shows as well. They've just pulled off another pretty massive 3-on-5.
The rewards, I think, speak for themselves for ex-Direwolves, having put Order just down to the USPs. Plus the customary Zeus coming through from Ricky. Always loves to pick one of them up every single eco round you see for Order. But bomb plant down on B has been the more successful side of the two for ex-Direwolves, I'd say, in this match on Nuke. And again, you just have Savage being an annoyance, really, for Order. Oh, has spotted out Ustillo, or Ustillo's spotted him out. Overall, though, looks like ex-Direwolves are more than happy to just save their rifles through in this round and try and chase down any of the USPs. In fact, it'll be the other way around. Savage handles it quite accordingly. APOC doesn't have quite as much luck. He's prepared to give that Galil over to the CT side. Not so concerned about that gun going into their hands, though Hazza very nearly rounded the corner into a couple.
Two types of people. Some people love the eco frags, that's for sure. Either way, though, ex-Direwolves, a clean enough round for their economy to thank them. Lots of players with 2.5 plus in the bank should give them that safety net to avoid full reset. Order another buy in there. That's a good start. Have found that man advantage and denied the vent drop. As soon as that vent drop comes out, things get so much more annoying and more difficult for the CT side. Have to spread the rotations a little thinner, but APOC has actually dropped down through secret. Use that wall of smokes to cross.
See what kind of havoc he can cause. Ustillo's down there as well. Ramp room defense once again has a couple of players here. It looks like Vexite's just playing the bait game with Valiance. Now the Valiance turns his attention a little bit further down the ramp. Vexite maybe to take first contact. Molotov lands at his feet, has to smoke himself off. Obviously gives away his position, and the grenade to follow from Savage is going to do more than enough. APOC has crept all the way into control room as well.
This double molly donated him. Just killed him with utility.
Well, I mean, that's the safest way to do it, isn't it? Don't even get into an aim duel. No chance of losing it at that point. Hazza going to try and go quickly. Found the timing behind a couple. Savage is good for the trade, though. Just took a few too many bullets to kill Hazza, and that gave time for Savage to set himself. And with APOC locking down the position near the control room behind the double doors, there's no one really that's going to peek in and deny the bomb plant for ex-Direwolves. Order having to make their way in from ramp, all three of them. But ex-Direwolves could be anywhere at this point. They've had oodles of time to set up a post plant. Sterling doesn't quite manage to land that final shot onto Gyra, so he's going to go down pretty quickly, but even still, that timer is ticking away very fast indeed, and if the defuse has to come through from Gyra, well, that's going to be dealt with quite accordingly. No time left for the defuse for Order, and maybe no guns through from this round either. How quickly can they get away from the bomb? Stillo may survive. Just about does. They get to safety. In the end, it's another round on the board for ex-Direwolves, and I think that's what we should be talking about at this point. 9 on the T side. Order not having any real success on CT, and yeah, they can save a couple of guns, but to what benefit?
Just not getting any of these rounds together. Ex-Direwolves, able to win every XVX, and like I said, they have money in the back pocket, so losing all the guns in the last round doesn't matter too much to them when they're getting that bomb plant and putting more wins on the board. Buy comes through for order, so at least those guns being saved over has allowed them to put some resistance together rather than having to take a save late in the half. But again, it comes down to ex-Direwolves all having, you know, this 1.2 plus in the bank, whereas order, they have no room for error. They're getting economically reset if this round goes by the wayside. And with, you know, round 14 coming up next, that's not where you want to be strapped for cash.
Quite a bit of Outer's presence once again here from ex-Direwolves. Smokes have come down, Molotovs into secret, and they'll just work their way through that area of the map. Once again, this has been a massive favorite of ex-Direwolves. How many times they've done it in different ways. Sometimes it's a lurk, sometimes it's a full committed push. That is what we're seeing coming through now. But it seems to work almost every time. Valiance is going to be pushed away by the Molotov. And ex-Direwolves are just so clean on their progression.
Yeah, it's very hard to read. It basically did the thing that it does is it forces order to rotate some amount, but it's about can they rotate correctly. Oh, this is cute. This is going to be a vent, explode straight back in towards upper.
It's not quite an explode just yet. It's a slow creep from Licky. Vexite was perhaps not quite spotted. It'll end up being a trade, and Justillo looks to hold on the bomb site. He's down to 9 HP, and he'll eventually be overwhelmed by Licky, but he fought enough time for Gyro to get up there and save the day. APOC, I mean, he's playing whack-a-mole really there with Gyro, isn't he? But he's not going to be able to win the round. So Order will get themselves up to 4. Another round on the board, but rounds that they've been getting have been few and far between, and most often they have been followed with a really big, powerful round from ex-Direwolves. So they need to be very careful in this next coming round that they don't drop it here and then compromise the rest of the half, which would ultimately look like it would put ex-Direwolves up to 11, with the money being the way that it is for the CT side.
Well, the money's not so great for ex-Direwolves. I think partly off the back that we've seen them time and time again get these bomb plants down, but that was a round where they're actually denied the plant, so maybe having a little bit less to work with than they may have wanted heading into this one. Apox had to save over the rifle. They will have to take a single save, which will allow Order to set up nicely for that last round if they could get through this anti-eco. So really, timeout comes here for ex-Direwolves. They're going to have a chat about how much can we invest into this round to give ourselves an outside shot at winning, as well as heading into that next round. Looking for a victory. Are they playing? Yeah, the investment actually does come in, so they are going to force up here. They're going to go for 2 rounds rather than just save and give one over to Order. And with how shaky the CT side economy is looking, this could essentially set up whoever wins this round for an easier second, which could be an 11-4 or a 9-6.
10s out for ex-Direwolves. Don't seem to be a particularly exciting prospect, but the Vexite both don't have head armor. Still, it's not going to matter too much if Gyro is able to do the majority of the work. MP9 spray from Justillo eventually runs out of bullets, and it's Vexite to try and trade, and eventually falling as well. It's just a bit of chaos entering into that bomb site, but Sterling is still alive. Sterling gets a free kill onto Ricky. What has happened there? It was a 1-on-2. Ricky just burning, I think, from full HP. Leaves Sterling in the 1-on-1, and Valiance is on the wrong bomb site, so it's going to take him some time to get down to B. Sterling could be anywhere at this point. It's just as likely that Sterling wins this round as Valiance pulls it off, and it could make a massive difference to how this first half ends up looking. That's a very nice Molotov from Valiance, but is it going to buy enough time? Defuse is on 5 seconds for Valiance, but way too easy in the end for Sterling. What happened to Ricky, though?
I don't know, he went from 100-0 into the Molotov, didn't he? That was a bit interesting. That's 10s up for ex-Direwolves, then potentially an 11-4 now, because Order had no cash in the bank to follow up that round, so now that they've dropped it, yeah, this is where you see a pretty scuffed buy come in. No util for Vexite, 4 MP9s. Really not what you want it to be working with. Ex-Direwolves don't have the ideal buy either, having only one player surviving that last round, but it's still better than what the CTs can put together.
Vexite's going to try something fancy here inside of the smoke, and he might just get that timing onto APOC. Not expecting the aggression this time on Outer. Fair, there hasn't been a huge amount of it from Order, so why would you be as ex-Direwolves? But they've hit double digits on the T side of Nuke, so overall, even regardless of the way this round goes, ex-Direwolves are happy with how things have been going on Nuke. Alliance is close with the MP9. The assistance of Vexite there as well. Two-man setup in towards ramp once again. And it has been brought unstuck a little bit by Sterling and Hazard. Vicky watches for the rotate in from lobby. This would be the power play if he survives. They did line up, but he can't get the shots through. Still, information there. Both Sterling and Hazard have to play this dangerous game on low HP, needing to now retrieve the bomb. Hazard can't shy away from this fight, and ultimately, Order will grab themselves their 5th round on the CT side of Nuke. They are going to be moving on to T. That's the end of the half, but overall, Pilski, it does feel like it's still all going the way of ex-Direwolves. It's been a very good day so far today, and I can't imagine that changes in the second half.
Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night, it's never day. Even when I watch the floor, the dust will come. Keep on hunting for the prey. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother.
Second half ahead of us here for Nuke, and ex-Direwolves are off to another belter. Order are really struggling in this series. They've only gotten 5 rounds in the first half of Nuke, and now that we move into the second, it looks like it should well be ex-Direwolves for a 2-0. I wonder if Order can cause a bit of a ruckus. That's exactly what they're trying to do, getting into the A-bomb site. They get that bomb down very quickly indeed, really picking the pace up, and ex-Direwolves might not have been in place to deal with that.
Yeah, just that one smoke for the retake here. Trying to put the bits and pieces together before they can get this execute kicked off. I thought it was going to be a one-way in towards heaven. Savage still biding his time. I think he wants to throw that on the defuse.
Has already losing his life. Savage chiming in with a couple. Licky there as well on top of rafters. Sterling executes Vexite, and it is now just Ricky trying to survive, which he'll do long enough to keep the pistol round going in the favor of Order, but it was a near thing. Ex-Direwolves just weren't able to get it over the line in the end, and so do see Order pick up the all-important second half pistol, a pistol round that they absolutely needed to come back into this map.
No doubt. But this is where the force mine is going to come in for ex-Direwolves. A couple of kills came over for them as well, so that always helps out. Just to be able to get that extra utility or maybe get a better weaponry in there, which is what you're seeing for Sterling. He goes on to the FAMAS. Full commitment in here, so no one's saving. Ex-Direwolves really throwing everything at the wall and trying to give this a crack. Another very quick tempo play towards upper here. The initial duels all going the way of ex-Direwolves though.
Has not worked out at all for Order. No flashes catching Sterling, and he's just in the perfect position to shut down multiple players. He sees their feet before they see him, and inevitably pretty much wins the round for ex-Direwolves. It would be a disaster to drop it from here. APOC is fine. He's got a smoke in hand, so he can just stay safe behind the vent and wait for his teammates to eye on that bomb. Gyra dropping to Licky's 9. The round seems like a formality at this point for ex-Direwolves, and maybe the half starts to feel that way as well, because Order is back onto what will be a pretty rough buy here. Pistol and armor, you'd have to imagine they're going to full buy into this one with all that they can, but ex-Direwolves are now the ones in pole position to come away from that pistol with the advantage, even though they didn't win it.
Yeah, you definitely consider the kind of round here where maybe you do save. It's 4 alive for ex-Direwolves, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is you're on that double eco territory yourself. Hero AK given to Valiance here, so he's going to have to be just that for Order. See how he goes with it. Deagles across the rest of the team, and not really a whole lot of utility here, so not really a whole lot of nuance in this round, Jordan. It is going to be click on heads or die for Order.
Sometimes that's just the way it's got to be. With a nice kill on Ricky, and then a good follow up onto Gyra makes it look like a cakewalk, really. ex-Direwolves are having a walk in the park in this round. They're not being pressured at all. In order down to just the 3 players, it's quite representative of what we saw actually of their T-side on Overpass, where they just lost a couple of players early on in a lot of critical rounds, and then the rounds themselves sort of petered out once ex-Direwolves had that advantage.
Oh, I can't believe that APOC's been able to make it out of that one alive, but realistically, even though he doesn't get the kill, that's pretty good info for ex-Direwolves to position themselves accordingly. Looking at Licky and towards CT Vent here, as well as his position from Sterling, it doesn't get much rougher if you're going to try to force your way through Annex with these 2 positions. But it seems like Order, I mean, it looked like they were going to wrap Heaven there, but there's just not a lot of time on the clock here, Jordan.
25 seconds of it, in fact. And Sterling into the site. He's not going to need to do too much. Licky is locking it down himself. Valiant's desperately trying to find the head of the player up in Heaven, but too much of a decoy, too much of a distraction, and it makes it easy for the rest of the CTs to come swinging through. Beautiful stuff from Sterling. Not missing a beat with that M4. Well played by Licky as well. So ex-Direwolves now double the score of Order, 12-6. Order's onto a full save, and ex-Direwolves are going to get themselves within striking distance of finishing this series off 2-0.
No doubt. Into the anti-eco, not really a whole lot to threaten them from Order, and even if you go look towards what Order's going to put together in that next round, it's not going to be some crazy buy. No AWP if that's what they would have wanted. Not full belts of utility. It's half going to be difficult to get back into. That's a nice little flash timing to find Savage, but outside of that, not really a whole lot going on. Licky just completely mops up. Bomb plant does go down. That's important for Order. Those plants in this kind of economic situation really do help out with how many grenades you're able to put together in the next round.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down, Pilsy. I really am, but I'm just not sensing the possibilities there for Order to come back from a deficit like this. Regardless, you give them infinite money. I'm not sure that they can take it right now against ex-Direwolves, who are looking
That's
pretty solid
toxic.
themselves.
I've
Well,
seen some toxicity in the Twitch chat, but I wouldn't expect it from you, Jordan.
I don't think that is toxic though. I think that's just how it is right now. Ex-Direwolves are looking so good.
Are the people in the Twitch chat spitting straight facts like you?
Probably not. Otherwise, they'd have my job. They're just pleb spamming on their keyboard. Yeah, come at me, bro.
Oh, that's pretty nice for Order. Very quick vent drop. That definitely changes how this round looks. You can already start to see it. I dare say you're going to start to get some of these rotations in here. Hazza, he's going down into lowers, but with a Mac 10 against an AK, I don't know how good he's feeling about this situation.
It all depends on the timing, doesn't it? If Valiance makes a misstep, how's it going to find him? But he's just a bit
looking around. He's like, okay,
what should I do
from there? Yep, okay, here's where I stand. Very good.
The plan is, I think, just let the rest of the players on ex-Direwolves do the dirty work, and then hopefully Hazard doesn't really have to do too much in this round. Already a good start for Sterling with the orb. Ricky spots him just underneath that smoke, so it brings it back to 4-on-4. And Order will be getting a bit excited about that one. It is a two-man setup on the B bomb site, though. APOC is here on ramp, so Hazard is just going to be essentially playing the bait and hoping that APOC can clean up afterwards.
Hazard is Hodor in this situation. That is his job. He's got to hold the door. That's it. APOC getting the rest done for the most part. He's actually set up Hazard to stay alive on the side. Does clean up with the Mac 10 there, but Order trying to scramble into things.
Oh, I thought it was happening.
Hazard. Yeah, I don't think that was quite enough for Order. It seemed like they almost got that one critical frag, but it just wasn't clean enough yet. That's going to be it.
And that ragdoll is about right for Order at the moment. Just a face plant as the grenade blows Uki up. It's been a really tough ask for Order today.
Yeah. Straight up not having a good time, bro. Just leaning on the silo.
Ex-Direwolves is just going to go searching for all that extra utility that they can possibly find before they defuse the bomb.
Yeah, AWP as well.
I think there's an AWP, there's a couple of AWPs available right now, so if they wanted a double AWP, they could go for it, but I don't get the sense that ex-Direwolves is the team that really opts to look toward a double AWP. There's no really super solid second AWP option.
Yeah, I think I've seen APOC use it a bit on Dust too.
It crops up here and there, but it's definitely not a go-to in a similar fashion to, you know, something like Renegades, for example.
Yeah. Well, they are going to double AWP, so cool story, Jordan. And it's Hazard using it. Their money's still pretty good. Order trying to get down that vent again. He's still over with the front spawn, and again they have done it. So always feels pretty good when I see a very quick vent shot from the T side, and he's still actually going to go back towards Secret. Sterling, if I want Sterling somewhere, it's not sitting in a corner in the lower bomb site. So if anything, that vent shot is having impact, even if Yustilo doesn't do anything with it.
Especially with the way Sterling's been opening up a lot of these rounds for ex-Direwolves. He's 17 and 13. Definitely been having a good day with the AWP. Smokes are going to go across to Outer. So is Ricky. He catches Licky. Always a fun interaction. It reminds me of the Texter-Dexter days. But Savage is pushing his way out into lobby, and this could be an absolute masterstroke for ex-Direwolves. If he gets around behind Squeaky, he can pick up a couple of players. But Ricky is a bit too switched on at the moment. Order have just dominated that round. That is the best looking round we've seen from Order so far today.
Yeah. And partially that's down to the vent drop. I mean, the outer smokes into the uppers hit, that was actually just a very well put together T-side round from Order, which it's kind of insane to me. Because, like, we were talking about Overpass, right? Where we had a couple of these rounds where, like, they're kind of just walking in one at a time into crosshairs of the CTs. And then you just see a round like that on the T side where it's like vent drop into outer smokes from outside lobby into really nice timing, straight out squeaky door, great entries. these are the kind of side rounds from Order where I'm like, this is what they're capable of. And then you just saw earlier in this series some really weird rounds that I wouldn't be expecting from them. But hell, if there was ever a time to start pulling out some of those great T-side rounds, I mean, now's the time to do it. No room for error in this series, down 7-14. They're going to need a couple more good calls out of them.
For sure. Another buy comes through for the CT side, though. Their money is starting to dwindle. Ex-Direwolves still not in a very difficult spot just yet. 14-7. Scoreline is a massive advantage for them right now. Obvious, but they can afford to drop a couple of rounds here. They can afford to have a rough time. All it takes is one mistake from Order, and that might be the game over. I think he creeps his way into the ladder. Sterling must have missed a shot on the Vex side because he did go down on outer.
Oh, this nade chips down Gyro a little bit. Order going to simplify things here, I think, though. Take that pick on outside, spread the rotations a little more thinly, and just group up. Try to contest this back control. They run into Hazza, who finds himself a first and is able to get away safely, but just this pressure on ramp will create a bit of a ripple effect. Savage, for some reason, doesn't have the silencer on his gun, but you know what? That's fine.
That's Chad. That's Chad energy.
What
I'm going
is
to buy the
IEM?
silenced weapon and take the silencer off so that my enemies can hear me coming.
True.
This is just spotting the line from control room, bouncing up and down the stairs. He's going to get the info pretty soon that there is a push coming toward B. But he's the only one down here right now for ex-Direwolves. Nuke is all the way in T-spawn. It's going to take him a long time to get down here to assist. Order will be able to set up quite nicely. Hazard's not finding any success with the spam through, so 4-on-4 for the retake. Util starting to get a little bit slim for ex-Direwolves. This could be a tough one.
I'm looking at how they layer the flashes in towards the control room here. That could be a bit of a difference maker. Catch one of these players full blind.
First, Savage is going to get set through, and it's not quite going to work out for him or for Hazard. In the end, just a 1 for 2, and that's not quite enough for ex-Direwolves, particularly given the fact that Licky and APOC are so low on HP. Ustillo will get aggressive and more or less seals the deal if it wasn't already confirmed for Order. 8 on the board now. Slowly but surely coming back into the swing of things is Order on the T side of Nuke. And ex-Direwolves have run out of money.
Yeah, no doubt. Couple of good calls back to back. These vent drops have been pretty successful. Did take Sterling out of the equation in an indirect way before having him down on that lower side, dealing with the rest of the team. And then that last round, I mean, bit of individual brilliance out of Excite. If you get your star rifler on the outside part of the map, just pick up Sterling, get rid of the orb, then you're probably feeling pretty good. But, I mean, we've said it already, there's still plenty of room for error on this CT side.
Oh, and this could actually be a little problematic if Licky finds ways to cause some damage with the orb, which he already has done. Opportunities present themselves. Vexite, wow, that is a very nice spray down. He makes it look easy.
Yeah, on that
it really isn't that easy. Yeah, when you've got both horizontal and vertical axes to think about, plus the recoil from the AK. I mean, he actually does drop to Sterling, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that was really nice, really clean from Vexite.
That's why he's such a joy to watch. He's very clean on the mechanics. You can tell he's got a very good intuitive feel for Counter-Strike as a whole.
Sterling's got himself an orb, though. So I'll be happy to swindle that one away. Unless, of course, Valiance has anything to say about it. So, not the case this time for ex-Direwolves. They can afford the orb, but it'll be glass cannon for Sterling if he wants to go for it. To be honest, he's been alright with the M4, so I almost prefer to see him with the M4 or even the AUG here. Just to get that extra bit of util, because the rest of the lads didn't have too much cash. I think that's a good option.
Oh dear, I think Licky misbought an MP9, so now he has no utility. It's not ideal.
The rest of us.
He's just doing everything he can to give Order a chance, I guess. Very generous. Not a whole lot of utility here for ex-Direwolves. First 10-15 seconds of the round go through and they've already dumped almost all of it, so round gets a little simpler. Wouldn't be surprised to see some aggression into Radio here from Pazza. That's something he was doing quite well against Renegades. Order, outside smokes, they start to creep down in towards Secret, where APOC awaits.
APOC spots the player jumping across. Assumes there's probably a second coming as well, and will just decide to back away a little bit. Another little jump spot from APOC, but not going to see too much this time. Order have been pretty good in getting down Secret, putting that pressure on the B site. Stillo's position might actually be false information because Gyra has crept all the way into decon. We'll see how that goes a little bit later on in the piece. The force into Ramprum starting to come through as well. APOC taking matters into his own hands, tries to get the better of Ustillo. He's still aware that the B site now could be dirty. Good heads-up play from APOC. Keeping himself alive, but you spoke about utility being a factor, and now both teams seem to have run out of it. This might work out nicely for Sterling. He catches Ricky, and Order now have to pump that accelerator, charge into the B bomb site with 18 seconds left. Hazard takes the head off of Gyra, and now it starts to get a little bit problematic for Order. Jumping shots through from Hazard, but he gets the job done onto Ustillo as the peak comes through. Sterling's there to help out as well. And Valiance, the last alive. Bomb is on the floor. Aware that he's probably somewhere around decon, and if they weren't already, now they definitely know. Valiance, though, finding the one-on-ones. You got a bit excited for a second there, Pilsky, and I don't blame you. But in the end, it is going to be ex-Direwolves to get to 15 and to get to match point.
Two guns taken over. Definitely won't be doing them any favors heading into that next buy, and I'm looking at a couple of Order players who are kind of the banks at the moment. 10k for Ustillo, 8k for Valiance will definitely help them out, putting a much better buy together. But no room for error. They're going to be 6 on the trot for Order just to put it into OT. So, man, I think this is kind of a sign of the times, Jordan. Usually you'd be saying ex-Direwolves core versus Order. We're in for a 3-mapper every time. But lately, I mean, we're about to see a 2-0, and I think it kind of tells you that things are a bit different.
Yeah. It's off the back of a 2-0 in DreamHack as well, and then obviously there was 3 maps in the upper bracket of this tournament, but I feel as though that was a bit of an anomaly of an ancient map for ex-Direwolves. I don't think you've seen them go down 16-4 if you play that another 100 times. This one, though, starting to work its way back in the favor of Order. They don't control the bomb, though, so that's going to be a little bit awkward. Hazard spots out Vexite in lobby. And it'll be Savage that really has to do the lion's share of the defense. Though Licky pushing out of Squeaky. Ex-Direwolves just don't want to leave this to chance. They don't want to let Order be the proactive ones. It's Ex-Direwolves that are making all of the decisions. And surely Savage has spotted Gyra there. His head popped up a couple of times. It took a bit to cotton onto that fact, but he gets back down the ladder okay.
It's a duel we might never see again. It's just such a weird angle. Savage is just like, I don't like it. It's new. Where do I put my crosshair? This goes back into lobby.
That's fair enough.
Ooh, Ustillo.
He's somehow gotten himself into the A bomb site, so it's a lobby crunch from Order, but not in the fashion that you'd normally expect to see it. Hazard is watching into Hut. He does spot Ustillo out, swings around. It's a one-on-one now. Savage stuck in the corner, and Gyra, oh, he sort of knew, but he second-guessed himself. That's the end of the map. Ex-Direwolves will take it, 16 on the board for them, and they finish off the series with a 2-0 today.